We're all
Hey,
here.
we got everybody's faces. I like your hat, sir.
But I mostly do sci-fi.
That's right. Okay, we'll get into that in a sec.
Mhm.
Sci-fi.
Hey guys, my internet's connected up to Danielle.
Okay. All right. And then Danielle, you're horror, right? Horror. You're muted.
Horror. Yes.
Horror.
Yeah,
Horror.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't I get one of your books recently?
Mine? I don't
I
know.
thought I
Did
got
you?
Terror. I think I got Terror at Camp Silverside.
Nice.
I think. Is that it? We're going on an adventure. We're looking at Clint Baker's indie shelf. Yes.
Yay. Yes. Love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I got your book. Okay, we are at 6 o'clock. You two are our only guests tonight. We wanted to give people plenty of time to express it, especially Ted, because Ted, you have a very complex book, and I love hearing you talk about it. So I want to make sure you have plenty of time to get in what your passion is. And Danielle is very diverse in what she does, so I want to make sure that we can represent both of those. But let's. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
That one's for the audience. While I'm doing my rundown, make sure you're sharing this out. We appreciate all the likes and gifts. It helps us out so much. See if we can get Tanya in here. Clarence is already here.
Hi, Clarence.
Joel's already here. Let's send it out to Michelle. All right. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. This is Impromptu Interview with my co-host tonight, Shae Smith, and my guests are Danielle Muething and Ted Kostis. Thank you both so much for being here. I am your host, Clint Baker, author of The Worship Ground Realities Bend. Book 3 is going to be out soonish this year, hopefully, but for the end of the summer. That's my goal before I start my classes. And my most recent book is Mr. Candle's book, and Dory Murdoch, who's usually down in the chat, is my narrator for that. So be sure to give her some love because she did a fantastic job. But I want you two to introduce yourselves, starting off with Danielle.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Danielle Muething. I am an author. I write young adult horror books. And then I'm also not an audiobook narrator. And I narrate anything that comes my way. So, yeah.
Perfect. And Ted, would you mind introducing yourself, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'm Ted Kostis. I'm an electrical engineer, and I have been involved into some state affairs. I was an advisor to Minister of the European Parliament, and I have a background of what's happening with the state affairs and all of that. So I mostly write spy fiction with heavy elements of science fiction. That's spy fiction. He has a lot of novel science fiction gadgets that have not appeared in the '07 movies. Truly novel. So that's what I mostly write about.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ted. Again, thank you so much for being here. We usually have a goal of 10,000 likes. It's kind of a slow start. I think that's still pretty reasonable. If you're not the one speaking, please remember to mute yourself. Danielle, we are going to start with you so you don't have to tap that button. Let's begin the show. Danielle, you have many projects as far as narration goes. How many are you at total now?
You know what? I don't know. Like how many have I done? How many have I finished? I honestly don't know. I don't really pay attention. I guess I should, shouldn't I? I think with both of my names, probably around 70, maybe 80 books. Yeah.
Oh
That,
gosh.
yeah.
And that's over the course of how many years?
I've been doing it for 6 years. So,
Uh,
you know,
So like
there are some people who have hundreds and hundreds of books by now. I'm kind if I to say I work part-time would probably be an understatement, but I'm not one who's like I got to do a book. I'm like I'll just, whatever comes along, and I'm pretty laid back about all of it. And so, but yeah, I mean, 60 to 80 or whatever it is no laughing matter. It's just,
I know some people have been doing it for a while and they've only got like one or two under their belt. So don't scoff at that. That's a serious achievement. Have you found a favorite genre that you like to narrate for? I know horror is your general sense, but
yeah, I love horror and I love paranormal anything, sci-fi, romance. If it has some kind of paranormal something to it, then I'm happy. So now cozy mysteries, those were the ones I didn't know I would like so much, but I really love doing those, especially if they have a lot of crazy characters in them. That's always really fun. So, but yeah, I would say horror and paranormal anything are my favorites.
okay. And then you also had a recent horror project come out, I believe, with Clarence, and that's for Redacted Tales, right?
Correct.
What
Oh,
story was
golly.
that?
What was the name of the story? I can see it in my head. Two Can Keep a Secret. Yeah, we just did a short story for him called Two Can Keep a Secret. He does a thing called Redacted Tales. It's on YouTube. And so you can go and watch and listen. And we do an interview. We interviewed as well. And yeah, it's really fun. I've known Clarence for a while now, and he's a really cool dude. So, and he writes great stuff. And
Yeah,
I
he's a
love,
sweet.
yeah.
And if he might be in the chat, Clarence, if you're in the chat, be sure to put Redacted Tales, however it's spelled, how to look it up on YouTube. What was that process like starting that?
Well, it was all about him. He was all hands in that. And, but, we talked a lot about like what we wanted to have going on in the beginning. Like, how do we get this started? And could I help him get it started as far as like recording that first story for him? And, he wants me to, write a story for it as well. And again, being who I am, I don't write as quick as I don't know how he does, how anybody, they do it. They're so fast and they can write just all these. And I'm always like, I'm so impressed because it takes me a little while at least to write things. And I did send him one short story that I had, but it was really short. So he's thinking of waiting to do a time when he does like some short stories, and we'll put that one in there. So yeah, someday I'm going to write a story for Redacted Tales as well as do some more narrating for him. And yeah, it's a neat project. I like it because it's supposed to be all about things that maybe the government would redact from life. So aliens and cryptids and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's what the stories are mostly about. Just things that's like, oh, the government isn't going to tell you about this, Gotta keep this from everybody.
Clarence just popped in here. Clarence, can you type out the redacted tales on how to look it up for YouTube? I have one submitted and edited for him as well, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. My tip there, especially for submissions, is every time I get like a weird idea, I just write it out. Sometimes I have like 5,000 word short stories, about 2,000. Who knows? At least you have like a catalog of stuff that you can just send out if somebody asks for it, and then
Yeah,
you know
I should
it
do
kind
that more. I always get weird ideas and I should just sit down and write them. But usually I'm in the middle of something and I always give myself such weird deadlines and that I'm like, and I'm a procrastinator. So then it's like right at the end and I'm like, oh, I was supposed to get this out by now. But it's all my own deadlines. It's not anybody else's, but I'm still very, I push myself when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, which is what I've been doing lately. So it's all I've been focusing on is this book that I'm trying to get out. And yeah, and I'm recording something as well. So,
are you allowed to talk about what you're recording?
yeah, the one I'm recording is called Fall Back Into You. And it's a romance, like straight up romance, cowboys and romance and no vampires or ghosts or anything. Very strange for me. But it's by Shae Ray. And it's the Shae Ray, who is also Crystal Rain Love. She's okay with me talking about that. I've been working with Crystal Rain Love since the beginning of my audiobook career. She was the fourth book I ever did, was one of hers. And I've been working with her ever since. And I've done so many books with her. But so she asked me about this romance series. So I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then I was like, this is weird. I don't understand how these work. But it's been fun. You know, it's been interesting stepping into a world without craziness. And so I'm working on that, Fall Back Into You. And then the book that I have coming out soon that I wrote is called Disappear. And I was trying to get to the end of May. I wanted it to come out in May because today is my 1-year publishing anniversary. So 1 year ago today, woo, I published Sisterhood. So that was my first book, came out 1 year ago. And I wanted to have another book out in May to have that like year, you know, but I don't think it's going to make it. So I now I'm shooting for mid-June. But so Disappear, that'll be coming out. I'm going to do a cover reveal soon, I swear. Thank you, Shae. And yeah, it's exciting. It's about a magician, a magician like oh gosh, I said David Copperfield on the last thing I did, and people were like, who? I was like, oh, I'm so old. Who's new? David Blaine, like that kind of magician, you know. And his assistant disappears during the disappearing lady trick and doesn't come back. But then when she does come back, she's not quite right. So that's what Disappear is about. Thank you, TD. So yeah, that'll be coming out mid-June. Exciting.
Plot twist, she lost her right arm. She's not quite right.
I mean, she's all left. Thank you very much. And that's what we're here for, folks. Jokes like that. Thank you very much.
I'm so bad about it. I love jokes. I love dumb jokes. My favorite one lately has been, to be frank, I'd have to change my name.
I was like the one, and this is totally stolen from The Simpsons, but when he says, if I could say a few words, I'd be a better public speaker. I'm like, Homer, you. Thank you. Gosh, look at all our.
How much of your humor do you put in your books, Danielle?
It depends on the book. I don't think Disappear has a lot of funny stuff going on. There's a lot of the main character is a high school boy's senior in high school, and he's in love with his assistant, his girlfriend, and he loves her. So when she disappears, first off, he gets arrested because they think he's done something to her. And then it's just a lot of emotion of him dealing with where is she? And then when she comes back and she's not quite right, he's like, what's going on? And So that one's a little more serious. It probably has some jokes in there because I can't help myself. But then I have other ones like Terror at Camp Silverside. I think that one has a lot of silly stuff in it. But yeah, so it just kind of depends on the subject matter. But I always try to be
Who
silly.
who was it that said that some usually the line between horror and comedy is the music?
I
Something
don't
like
know,
that.
but yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're writing towards kids, you kind of have to throw in a little bit of humor, even though it's dark and mystery.
Yeah,
Even if they're just going, "Oh, that was dumb."
right, right.
They like
Kids
it.
will, yeah, oh, kids will tear you down if you, they're very honest about what, about how they feel about things. Yeah. So, yeah. And that's,
Well, hey, thank you so much, Danielle. Shae is going to get to you here in about 15 minutes. Ted, th- thank you for your patience, sir. And hey, thank you so much for being here. I know you're over in Greece, and it's 3 o'clock there for you right now, 3:30, 3:15.
Yeah, sure. I'm delighted to listen to you. It's my pleasure. I love being here. And thank you very much for inviting me.
Of course, of course. You put a lot of yourself into your works, and if I remember right, you wrote your book to kind of be a buddy adventure for you and your personal friend, right?
Yes, that was a Ganasa incident, which is a horror comedy, and it tries to play around the theme of somebody who's 38 years old and has devoted everything to his work. And then his friends try to hook him up with a girl. That's oversimplified. And I tried to make it as a horror comedy because, of the paradox, having very good friends who would take care of you, and on the other hand, being only in a certain angle and looking after your work and disregarding a little bit of your personal life. That was a Ganasa incident, which is all everything is sci-fi and everything has a spy-fi flavor. Uh, this protagonist and all the protagonists are professional spies. You know, the two sides of the same coin. One is a professional spy agent, and the other is an amateur who is drawn into a situation. I don't deal with that. I really don't believe that amateurs could be drawn into a situation and take care of things like that, as movies go. In the movies, they win. It's not a problem. But I deal with professional intelligence agents, and my major work at the moment is under the Tex Casnovas label. Tex Casnovas as the nickname, and it's Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent, which was selected to honor Le Carré, which had Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and it involves them all. And of course, it involves a professional intelligence agent, Rex Dodgers, right? So, would you like me to explain a little more about that, or do you have any questions? Because you know
No,
me, I don't want to monopolize the whole thing.
no,
You
no. Hey, listen, I love listening to you explain your work because I start to get, the longer you go on, the more like your heart comes up and starts like to branch out, and that's what I love about you, Ted. And so I'm not going to stop you if you feel like if when I start seeing that come out, if that makes sense, and us starting to get a little bit of it.
yeah,
And
sure.
my only question so far was how you came up with Tinker Tailor Soldier Agent and Spy. I was just looking it up real quick so I could add it.
Yeah, sure. In my link tree, the standard link tr.ee. If you type /text Casnovas, it's all in there in one space. Um, uh, I'd really not like to take time off Danielle. Danielle, did you see the video I made And let me just simply explain the basic premise of Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent. It's imagine waking up in a trash hotel room with no memory of the night before, and only to be immediately arrested for the murder of a foreign agent you were assigned to help her defect. Right? She's lying on the bed dead, and you woke up because the military police came in and arrested you. So that's where Rex Dodgers begins his descent into a conspiracy so vast. It reaches the highest levels of the government of his own galactic empire. There's a mall in there, and there's a referendum happening, either to keep the current hybrid regime of stratocracy plus democracy, or move only to stratocracy, move only to democracy, or keep the hybrid regime. And an enemy, an adverse galactic empire has placed them all in there to secure that the vote swings into their favorite position. And this is how it all winds up, because Rex Dodgers is the epitome, is a statue of stratocracy. So by hitting him, you make sure that the vote goes the other way. That's a basic premise. For example, he was sent to retrieve 100 foreign defector, but then he became 100 himself, branded a rogue by his own galactic empire. You know, they say this guy is bad, and his supervisors, superiors are bad. So he came to protect a defector. Now he's a traitor. That's the start of Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent, a professional agent on the run. And although it seems like, you know, he wakes up in a mission that has gone wrong. And this is what it seems. And it seems that he's only trying to clear his name. But there's a whole story behind him. And it's like being given a mission that you have not been briefed about.
Okay. Hey, Ted, do you write under a different name by chance?
I have split the protagonists. You know, I use Ted Rogers for the Ganasa incident, and I write this under my own name. But I've decided to split Rex Dodgers and write it under the Tex Casnovas label, so to make a distinction.
Okay. Where can we actually get your book? What's the platform that it's under?
You mean distribution channels or name?
Your name that we can get it, like, or can we get it on Amazon? Can we get it?
Yeah, for Amazon. If you type the best way is to go to linktr.ee, and then on the slash it's Tango Echo X-ray and Casnovas C Charlie Alpha Sierra November Oscar Victor Alpha Sierra. It's on the link tree.
Okay. I'm gonna do some investigating. Whenever I type it on Amazon, it doesn't come up.
Hold on. I just remember that I could write it down here.
Yeah. I'll make a video for you, Ted, just whenever I'm able to track it down. That way people can find your book.
Sure.
Because one of the main reasons we do this is to promote you. And if for some reason Amazon's not letting it up, well, we got to get that fixed. That way your book can get bought.
Yeah, I can find the slash, but I'll just write the name.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Oh, there you go. It's of course it has a dot between the link tree and the EE, and then it has a slash. But it wouldn't give me the opportunity to write the slash so easily.
Just Casanovas, not Casanova?
Well, you got me there. You got me there.
It's Casanova. Yeah, if you put in exactly that with the dot and the slash, he'll come up. I just got him.
Okay, perfect.
I wasn't so ambitious to put it as a Casanova.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. I know that was a weird thing to do on the show, but since I was having problems, I want to make sure everybody else wasn't. We are getting pretty close to the halfway point. Ted, thank you so much. You're always a welcome guest and an awesome guest. Shae, are you ready to take it away?
I am. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and leave my video off. We do have some storms going on right now, and my Wi-Fi and my cell phone data, whatever, is not doing so swell. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep my camera off. If at any point I'm lagging or anything like that, please let me know. My name is Shae Smith. I'm your co-host of Impromptu Interview. I have a sci-fi fantasy anthology, 17 Lifetimes and Cue the Trumpets, and my current work in progress, Sour, a romantic thriller about a woman raised by serial killers. I do have a Kickstarter live right now for that to cover for editing. If you decide to back it up, you do get a early bird copy of the book and the digital copy as well. There's a limited edition on the Kickstarter. Bunch of fun stuff, t-shirts, mugs, all the goodies, book boxes, everything you want. So that's what I have going on right now. If you guys would check that out, I would love it. And I'm going to start with Danielle tonight.
Hello.
Hi, Danielle. So Danielle's exciting for me because I've asked Danielle to narrate as Louise Lumen in Sour, my upcoming thriller. Louise is one of my favorite characters. I love them all, but Louise is extra special, and there is no other Louise than Danielle. So if I can get a narration project started on that, I'm going to do some snippets with Danielle. Super excited about that. And yeah, so hopefully you guys see us together in the future. Oh,
I am very
Danielle.
excited about it. So yeah, all the things I've read so far are just so great, and I
You're
can't wait to read it.
You're absolutely perfect. I mean, I knew from day one, honestly, and when doing a narration project, you're always like, of course, the affordability comes first, but you meet these amazing narrators who you just know are the perfect characters for your book, and you're just like, okay, if you could just do a few snippets here and there. And Danielle does tons of reads. She does The Human Voices Only was the last thing she did. So if you want to explain that, Danielle, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so Human Voices Only is to to show that human voices are needed over AI voices. We're trying to fight the fact that AI is trying to come in and take jobs from narrators and voice actors. And so with Human Voices Only, what we do is as narrators, we ask authors to send us just a few lines from books, like a short little scene that just has a lot of emotion in it, so that we can show as a narrator what we can do with that, and something that a computer will never get. So to make sure that you always have a human voice present with your work, because you don't want to take all that time to write a book and put all that feeling into it and then just have, boo AI, agreed. Have AI come in and just make it sound robotic and have no feeling behind it. So I agree. Boo to AI. AI does not belong in creative spaces. I will say that until it goes away, or I go away because AI has taken over my life. You know what I mean? So
Well, we definitely know what you mean, and nothing can ever repeat or reenact a human emotion, in my opinion. And AI, what we thought was going to be, when we were younger, we thought it was going to be something that was helping in different areas, and in fact, it has made its way into creative and art spaces and has changed things drastically. So Yes, I agree with that as well, Danielle. But thanks for sharing that. Some people aren't aware that the narrators are doing that, and I think it's one of the coolest things you guys have came up with yet. So thank you for sharing that. So I geared a lot of questions towards don't open the box, but then you bring up disappear, and now you got me all over the place with it. But we're gonna I'm gonna go
We can
ahead
talk
and
about both. I'm all about it.
yes, we're gonna try to cover some questions for both of these. We'll start with don't open the box. So with you, Danielle, you come up with these really extremely creative stories, and they're unique, and they always have something that catches my eye personally. And I know a lot of other readers, if they hear this concept, are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds really cool." And I love that you do more of a YA, so it's clean. If you could just give us a little rundown on don't open the box. I always want to say don't open the box.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
want to give
yeah.
us a rundown.
So, sure. So, Don't Open the Box is about some kids who go to a horror movie convention. And Reba, who is the main character, she is obsessed with a movie called The Nightmare Box. And so when she goes to this convention, her goal is to buy a prop of the Nightmare Box. And she does, but then she finds out that it's not a prop. And when she opens it, all chaos breaks loose, and uh, her and her friends get pulled into their own nightmares. And so, yeah, it's fun based on the fact that I love horror conventions. I've been to many, and that also I was at the time when this one came up, we were watching all the Hellraiser movies. My husband and I watch horror movies all the time, and we were watching the whole series of horror Hellraiser movies, and we kept saying, just don't open the box. Stop opening the box. Like, because that's what the movie is. They get the box and then they open it, and then Pinhead comes and everybody dies. And you're like, just don't open the box and then you'll all be fine. So that's how that title came around and kind of how the story came around.
Oh, Pinhead used to scare me so much as a child. He is terrifying. I did not know that either. So that was the first time that I've heard that. That's very interesting that you got that from that movie. I love it. What are some of these nightmares? Can you give us like an example? And I know if it ruins too much, but I
So
am curious.
yeah. So let's see. I can give all. Yeah, basically. So it's Reba, her friends. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna remember all their names. Jack, a friend named Squirrel, and that's a whole story in its own where his name comes from, which is explained in the book. And then her sister Jeannie and Jack's brother Chad, and Jeannie and Chad are older, and they kind of have a little thing going on. And Reba and Squirrel and Jack are just kind of friends. They run around together, and they've known each other forever. And so Squirrel, he is a really smart kid. So he's like the brain of the group. And so his nightmare has to do with him being called up to do horror trivia during this convention and to compete for something. And then they think his brain is really exciting, so they want to get a closer look at it. So that's his nightmare.
I love it so much. And I love how you use squirrel as well. I think funny names in books are hilarious, and that's where you kind of meet that comedy with horror. And I mean, just one name can make the two blend, and I just love that you did it there. Oh my gosh. Can you tell us more about Reba and her group of friends? What are some of the other characters?
So Reba is she's kind of the rebel kid. Like she's younger. Jeannie is her older sister. Jeannie is the beauty queen, so she's homecoming queen and prom queen, and she's that girl. And then Reba is the exact opposite, black clothing and the black makeup and all of that. And her mom is always like, why can't you be more like your sister? So that's kind of their thing. And they bicker like sisters do, but then of course during the course of things they come together. just a single goth who works too hard. Yeah. And let's see. Jack's kind of, he's just like the cool kid next door that, he likes to throw rocks and race cars and have fun, and Reba thinks he's really cool and she likes him, and Squirrel's the really smart kid, and then Chad is the jock. So you have Jeannie and Chad, who are the prom queen and the quarterback, and that's why they like each other. And then the three friends who kind of run around together, and they meet some fun actors at the convention, and I based those on real actors that exist out there in the world. Obviously, I can't use the real actor, but there's an Elvira type character, and like someone who would play another big guy is Horrible Harold. He's kind of like the Michael Myers of this world. So he or Leatherface. So they meet him and the guy who plays him, and so basically this is my love letter to horror movies. Really.
I was just about to say this is like every horror fanatic's cup of tea right here, because all of it is just enticing me so much.
Yeah,
And this has an audiobook as well that you narrated, right?
it did. So far, I've narrated all of my books, which is really helpful to be an audiobook narrator when you are also an author. So I narrated all of them. I am looking into having a male narrator for Disappear, because it's not that it's told from first person, but the main character is a boy, and it's mostly about him. There aren't many other main characters in it. So I was like, it would be really interesting to get a male narrator. But as you said, financially, that's not the easiest task, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, no, yeah, I totally get it. And I see why you would want a male. That's a good bridge to kind of walk over to Disappear for a second. Can you tell us more about this magician, the main male character?
Yeah. So, so my inspiration for you guys are going to be like, she's so weird. Everything in my life makes me think of books, but we were watching The Brady Bunch, like you do, and it's one of my favorite. I love that show. I've been watching it since I was a little kid, and I still watch it. So we were rewatching it, and there's an episode in it where Peter, if you don't know The Brady Bunch, just go watch it. It's great. But Peter, one of the brothers, wants to be a magician, and he's doing this trick, and his little sister Cindy is watching they're watching another magician, and they do the disappearing lady trick, and she freaks out because she thinks the woman has actually disappeared. And so we were laughing about it. Oh, this silly episode. And I said, but what if she really did disappear? Where'd she go? Like, what happened to her? And so, of course, then I was like, I'm going to write that book. That's my story. So my story is about Dustin, who is a senior in high school. Him and Jane, who is his girlfriend and his assistant, have been dating for 4 years, and they're very much in love. And he's all popular. He's not popular with the kids at school because they think he's kind of a dork, but he's popular in the world of magic. Like, they think he's really great for being such a young kid. And so he's starting to come up in the world. And so they do this big show. They're putting on this big show, and he has just added the disappearing lady trick. And Jane gets in the box, disappears, and when he tries to bring her back, she doesn't come back. And so they're like, what did you do to her? Because nobody knows where she is. So he gets arrested, and, well, he gets taken in for questioning. And then later that night, she does come back unexpectedly and not quite right. So, yeah, so that's the story of Disappear.
It
And
sounds so good. So does Jane become kind of another main character too?
she doesn't talk much, but yes, I mean, they talk about her. He is with her, and he talks about her, and she's there, but she doesn't talk. She went through some stuff, so she doesn't talk much. She does
Gosh,
talk.
now is there a reveal of the things she goes through? I know that's something you can't tell, but does it
Maybe,
maybe?
yeah, maybe.
Okay, okay. Yeah, don't let me pick too much. You don't have to tell me anything.
No, I don't want to give away too much because,
No,
you
it
know, got
sounds so good. It sounds really, really good. I am excited for this one for you. I can't wait.
to
Do you have a favorite book that you have narrated? So you've narrated a lot. I'm of your own, not of other
go of
people's. So
mine.
yes, of your own.
Um, I don't know. I had a lot of fun narrating arts and crafts. I think arts and crafts is the one that is the most like my life. I base that a lot on people I knew. It is set in my middle school slash high school building. So all those descriptions, that's all what my middle school, high school looked like. A lot of the teachers that are in it were actual teachers that I had. I changed their names to protect the innocent, but well, innocent, they're teachers, you know. Used to give me detention all the time, but and then the characters themselves are either kids that I taught when I was doing after school classes or uh, friends of mine, like kids that I grew up with. So that one was fun to narrate because it just had a lot of personal things in it. So, and that's arts and crafts. Yeah.
And you said you were doing a cover reveal for Disappear Soon. Your arts and crafts cover reminded me because I love your cover for that.
Thank you. Yeah, disappear. Where are we? What is today? Thursday. I I will do it. Oh, it is May. We're already in May. So yes, I will do it soon. Next week. I'll do it next week. Promise.
Okay, okay, you'll have to send that to me. I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Danielle. You're so multi-talented, and it's always a joy to have you up here with us. So I am going to go ahead and move over to Ted. Hey, Ted.
Hello.
Hi, my dog is snoring in the background. I'm so sorry if you hear it. Sometimes my mic muffles it, but hi. So I'm excited to talk with you, Ted. You have a genre not a lot of our I can't even think of the name, the people that we have on the show. Those people, help me, somebody. Oh my gosh. You have a special genre, space opera. We have not had many space operas on here. So, in the spy-fi included with all of that. So I just have a lot of questions. I don't know if we'll get through them all, but just I would like to have a good breakdown of your main characters in your spy-fi, Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Servant. If you could give us a breakdown of your characters and kind of share about the Galactic Empire, and then along with those alien serpents that I was super excited to talk about.
Okay. First of all, I started this with the Ganasa incident under my name, under my full name, Theodoros Kostis, which this you can find in the same setup as Linktree, and that's simply by writing Linktree TR Intercosmos, Intergalactic Cosmocloud Resource. It was something like parallel of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's like a cloud system that has information. I have two main characters, which are in the same universe. They have the same age, but they are in different galactic sectors. Ted Rogers is in the Australis sector. He is the same intelligence agents for the Ghost Federation. And what's happening is that there are three girls and these two friends, and they are hunted, and they come across a haunted spaceship. That they know rumors about it, that it was 5,000 people in that generation ship were vanished. And then they say, should we go in? And it's like what Danielle said, should we go in the haunted spaceship? And one of the guys will say, no, right? And the guy says, and protagonist says, Ted says, yeah, sure, let's go in. What's going to happen to us? So they go inside, and I'll just simply say a scene to make you understand what I mean about horror comedy. The girls, they go inside this spaceship, and the girls are set up in one room, and the guys in the other room. And then the girls just feel like something strange, something paranormal, something like haunting them, and so they pull on their duvets, right? And they go around the corridor, and they knock on the guy's door and say, "Let us in." And then Ted, the protagonist, says, "What can I do for you?" And Lisa, the protagonist, says, "Let us in." And there's a bundle there. That's in the first book. That's in the Ganassi incident, or in the same book, Ted uh, gets left alone, is separated from all the others, and then he goes through something like a nightmarish tour, and he approaches 5 people sitting in a table, worried so much, and say, "What's happening here? Who are you?" And they say, "We are serial killers." "You're serial killers? Why are you so worried about?" "We're worried about a much bigger monster that's haunting us." "And who is that?" It's the taxman." So, something like that. That's in the first book. On the it has a lot of sci-fi stuff. For example, okay, I'll give you a reveal. There's a big monster in there, but this monster is a particle monster. So it's a sci-fi monster. It's silicon-based, and it gets created by several particles, so it can pass through schisms. So this thing is hunting the main protagonist in this first book. If I talk too much, you can interrupt me, right? Or if you have,
No, you're definitely covering. I'm writing notes and listening and laughing, so please keep going if you want to continue book 2 and book 3. I know it's
you know,
3 parts.
I laughed a lot about the setup of serial killers sitting together and suddenly a bigger monster is after us. Who is that? The taxman. And in the second book, Tinker Tailor Soldier Serpent. That's a classic spy thriller. The main thing is that there's a lot behind it. The Ghost Federation is trying to find out who a mole is inside the government. And the only way to find out is for them to make a mistake and reveal themselves. And this is not going to be easy unless a special operation is put in place. And most of all, the main protagonist, Rex Dodgers, does not know about the mission. So he's in very deep waters. And I have written around 400 pages of that. I have written 3 parts. The first part is when Rex Dodgers wakes up, gets arrested, goes into the interrogation room, and then I cannot say a lot because I don't want to take your time. But the main thing is that he is assigned only 2 guards to transfer him to the prison. And in the middle, these guys make a stop. And it seems like it was a predetermined stop because they want to get rid of Dodgers. Some other guys come in and get rid of him. And that's why they had assigned only 2. But then a girl comes in and springs Dodgers out. And this guy says that he is Tilly Master's sister, the agent that was killed in the beginning. Or so she claims that she is. And she's helping Dodgers because she doesn't believe much that he killed her sister. And he wants revenge of whoever really killed her sister. So they go together and they try to find out who framed Dodgers, who created this deepfake video. And the leads lead to a hacker, but the hacker is dead. But then they find a link to the money chain, that there is a banker involved, that he paid the hacker. But then they get ambushed in this very big tower, the Acheron Point tower block. It's like 217 meters high. It's like the peach trees in Judge Dredd, a building like that. So they get ambushed and they get forced into the terrace. And after heavy fire, they parachute. They end up in the river and they get helped to the shore by their car, which is a smart car. And that's the first part. Second part is Dodgers is trying to find a mask that can do a lot of things because, no, I'm sorry. The second part, they go after the bunker. So Jill Masters is a honeypot. He is seducing this bunker to take her to his office, and then Jill wins. I won't spoil it for you if you want to read it. But also, on the same day, what's happening is that they don't have time to lose. They need to find a mask, a very particular mask. Not only it has to be lifelike, but it also has to have some special things inside there. It has to have a gas filter, and it has to have a gas attack capsule. So if you're somewhere, you energize this mask, everybody around you goes unconscious, but because you have the filter, you don't. So they need a special mask, and he knows exactly where to get this mask, but the guy who was supposed to be a friend betrayed him. That's on the second part. I won't say more. If you want to read it, I won't spoil your pleasure. On the third part, that's a little bit where we go 10% cult. You know, it's when we say high concept, it means that the reader expects from us exactly what the theme dictates. You know, if it's a spy story, it's a spy story. I don't want to read about deities, it's a spy story. Well, I've decided to go a little bit 10% cult on that and include the battle of two deities. And I have, you know, the ancient Hellenic religion, which is predominantly on the Ghost Federation. And I have the Kraken cult religion, which is on these serpent monsters that appear in my profile on the 3D, the bladder file. It's like there are like Cthulhu monsters, Cthulhu-like, or they have octopus as heads, or they have snakes as heads, and that. The third part is that they have to go back to the same bank that Jill had used this bunker, because they need to get into a safe deposit box, but then they get ambushed again, and they are forced again to the terrace, and then their smart hover car comes in, but then it's hit by a missile, so there's no way out. But then Rex sees that there is a guy who is transporting money for a syndicate, and then he goes in and he hijacks his hover car, and they go inside, and they get off. The people out down with the missiles don't understand that they're them, but other people that know they are after them. There's a big battle, and then Rex Dodgers gets separated again, and he ends up in the lurid, grim labyrinth, which is a gated, huge area, which has the Duke of Zillos Prime inside, a very, very nasty major criminal person. And then Rex is handed, the bets are being made against his life, and then he ends up in being the tool for the ghost of an ancient Hellenic king to win a Kraken cult deity. And then Jill finds him, and they go together. I'd like to say that the Tinker Tailor Soldier Helper is not from the angle of Rex Dodgers. There are several things going around. It's an omnipotent view. There are the Erathian secret operatives who are actively trying to swing the election, and they have their own parallel story. And they also have a disruptor team, which the Erathians have hired, to do some more psychological and terrorist work in order to swing the selection. So you have three major vectors, three major narrative vectors inside, which also may lead to the reader saying, "Hey, say, I like these guys more. I wish they win." It's all very balanced. Everybody's trying to do their best. There's no easy way out for nobody, right? And of course, you have some special spy-fi stuff like cloaks that make you invisible, but to a certain degree. And you have a lot of psychological espionage things going in, like spreading rumors and all of that, and trying to win the public sentiment. This is standard whatever one expects to read, but in a space opera with galactic empires in clash, and why all these things are happening on Lonaris. You see, Lonaris just went into the Federation, and it's the fifth planet. There are two planets that want democracy, two planets that want autocracy. So Lonaris is the planet that will determine the election. It's a swing state, right? So, and also it's full of resources. The planet has no food, but has everything else. It has cobalt, gold, everything else that can sustain the Ghost Federation's galactic fleet, the galactic fleet space arm. So this is what's happening in that. Please interrupt me if I'm...
I was just about to, because I was going to say you are awesome. You have so many moving pieces in this, and I just think it's incredible to see your passion, like Clint said earlier. I mean, you had me drawn in. I have so many more notes. You answered probably every question I could have asked or more. You thought this out so well, and you should be proud of it. It sounds absolutely incredible. Come on, a space opera. You got your spies, you got your mystery, you got your action. Sounds like a lot of good action. Aliens. What else could you ask for? So Ted, just awesome. And I did want to bring up one more thing. I did see you were talking about the Blender 3D models you're making. Ted's got some really cool spacecraft 3D models he's made on a program. And you guys got to check them out. He's built complete spacecrafts that he's made up in his mind through his story. So he's brought it to life. And I just think that's really cool and artistic. Yeah, thank you, Ted. I am going to give it back to Clint. We're about 4 minutes to the end of the show, and you guys have been amazing. I thank you so much, Danielle and Ted, for sharing your stories with us. Both incredibly intelligent people, and it's been a pleasure. My name is Shae Smith. I'm your co-host of Impromptu Interview. Please go check out my Kickstarter for Sour. Let's get those numbers rolling before the next 20 days is up. And back to you, Clint.
Only 20 days left, and she already crashed her goal. Congrats, Shae. I want everyone, my two guests to go and say your name, so the Danielle Muething, Ted Kostis, where we can find you and what you have coming up. Starting out with Danielle.
All right. So again, Danielle Muething, I thank you as always for having me. I'm working on an audiobook called Fall Back Into You, which will be coming out next couple months. I just finished one called Magic by Judith Sonnet, which will be coming out very soon. So keep an eye out for that. It's an extreme horror. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's excellent. Judith is always great. As far as my books go, my newest one is Don't Open the Box. That one is, all of my books are available on Amazon, Kindle, paperback, and all on audiobook. And then Disappear will be coming out mid-June. So keep an eye out. I'll be doing a cover reveal next week.
When you were showing your books, I thought there was going to be another hand that popped up.
Oh gosh. talk to. I have a big word. Talk amongst yourselves. Here, wait. Oh, all these books. Oh, and there's an extra hand.
There you go, Clint. He knew.
That's my booth.
Oh, I knew she had an extra hand laying around somewhere. Thank you so much, Danielle. Ted.
Yes. Where can I have two link trees, which if you like me for 1 second, I'll just put them. The first link tree is the intercosmor, which appears on the text, and then the other link tree is this. The intercosmor one has the Eganasa incident link inside, and the Tex Casanova series have the other stuff that's happening in the adjacent Retralis sector with Rex Dodgers and everything else. Yes, it's mostly spy-fi, and of course they have a strong romance sub arc inside. All of them have some kind of. I mean, the big books have definitely have a sub romance arc.
I think we're good. Hey, Ted, thank you so much for being here, especially because different time zones, and it's always great talking with you.
No, it's okay. It's I usually stay at the outpost near the Sirali sector at that time. It's not a problem. Usual.
Hey, this has been Impromptu Interview. I'm your host, Clint Baker, author of The Worshipped Around Reality's Bend and Mr. Candle's book, my